I'm gonna mute the people.
The
Hi
cheese!
guys! Hi
Cheese,
guys!
do the cheese!
Lucas! What's up?
Yo! What's up, baby?
Yo! How are we feeling tonight? We got a great game
Mm,
tonight, don't we, Lucas Mixon?
this is, this, honestly, this means absolutely probably nothing
No,
to
this is a big
the
game.
Patriots. Well,
Oh
I mean, no,
yes,
no, no,
yes,
no.
yes,
I
yes,
mean to the
yes.
Patriots.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, they've already gone completely undefeated before, so I mean, it isn't a huge thing, but for Mr. Tacos and the rest of the players, it might be, but this is really only huge for the Chargers because if the Chargers lose, they're still in the playoffs, but they really have to rely on the game tomorrow, which is the Falcons versus Cowboys, which is also doesn't really mean much to the Cowboys, but to the Falcons, that's win or lose. And if they win, Chargers are out. So this is a pretty big moment for the Chargers. If they can clinch out a win, they clinch the playoff spot for them.
Yes, yes, yes. So the
It's
Patriots
pretty
did
big.
secure the number 1 seed. So yeah, they're just we're literally playing for to get that undefeated season. What do you think a win tonight would mean for Mr. Tacos as a first-year head coach going undefeated, Lucas? What do you think that would mean to him?
I think that would mean he's done a lot for the team because there's only two people left on the team. And although I do think he has some great personalities in the locker room who can really lead a team well, I mean, he's put his quarterback like Grizzly, who may not be the best in the league, but obviously has the best people surrounding him to be able to succeed very well. I mean, like in that first Chargers game they had, I mean, Grizzly wasn't doing as well, arguably. That wasn't top three. I mean, he just wasn't having the greatest game last time they played. But his defense was able to clinch up, and his receivers were able to come up in big moments on fourth down. So I feel like, I mean, he's been able to really surround his team around the people surrounding Grizzly rather than just Grizzly himself. So it really puts them in a really good establishment there.
So yeah, the Patriots, they've been flawless, but they have been known to fold in the postseason. As last year they did
Yes.
lose to, they lost to your team, which is
Mm-hmm.
crazy. So let's just hope that doesn't happen again. So some possible
No,
matchups
I hope
that
it does.
could happen is they will either be facing the Falcons, the
Or the
Chargers again, or the
or the Bucks.
Buccaneers. Because that second, yeah, that you can't fall under the 4 seed, so it's gonna be kind of
Yeah.
crazy how this week's the best week we've had because it's gonna
Oh
be
yeah.
interesting. Um,
It's really weird, man, because like this is like the weirdest scenario. If Chargers win, Falcons win, and also the Bucks win because the
yeah, it's gonna be a
Falcons
headache.
would.
It's gonna
I
be a
don't know
headache.
because the Falcons arguably should be better, should be a higher rank than the Cowboys because they're tied and it's 2-2. But then the Cowboys should be a higher rank than the Bucks because they swept them and the Chargers. But then the Chargers and Bucks both beat the Falcons. So it's a really confusing situation because the Cowboys should be safe because they beat the Chargers and Bucks, who they only faced one time in the season. But then you have the Chargers and Bucks, who also beat the Falcons, and the Falcons already are above the Cowboys. So it's really weird. I don't know what would happen in that situation. But let's just hope that doesn't happen, and we have a clear playoff picture coming into the next week. And
Oh
we don't
yeah,
have to
that's
spend
what I'm
2 hours
hoping
to
for
find out.
too. Yeah, it's
Because I
gonna be a headache.
guarantee you one owner's going to be really mad when they get fucked out of the playoffs if that happens.
All right.
So,
Anyway, let's
really
talk about
confusing.
this awesome Patriots defense, the best in the league. I mean, obviously, their offense has been good, but I think their defense is what's been winning them the games. I mean, they have Fenix, who's been a turnover machine, and then they have freaking Grizzly, he leads the league in sacks, and he's been getting
Hmm.
interceptions too, which is crazy. I mean, they have two players on their team that could win MVP. Who Fenix is a
Yeah.
one-time MVP, who won last season, and I mean, he's having an even better season. So I mean, it's crazy.
Hmm.
So I mean, to win tonight, they would have to stop Bubby, who, I mean, he's really good, but I mean, their teams have proven they can slow him down. So, I mean, that
Hmm.
matchup tonight between Fenix and Bubby, that's going to be really interesting.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be one of the biggest matchups because, I mean, their team, the Chargers, haven't won a single game since week 3. After they faced the Dallas Cowboys, it just went downhill from there. And to be fair to Bubby, it wasn't necessarily his fault. He was lagging, and that just caused him to make too many mistakes. At the same time, he can't be using that as an excuse every game, and I don't think he has. I mean, against the Bucks, I mean, it was almost a tie in overtime, which would have been so bad for both teams. So they really wanted to win that game. And in overtime, that could have been really bad for the Chargers, and then they lost instead, which put them in this situation where they could easily just not make the playoffs.
Hold on.
As
Let me get that good.
up to stakes here, man. It could. Hey, and Bubby has to step up if they want to win this game. I mean, they're not going to overtime this time, but I feel like with how their defense works, Grizzlies are really good ball hawk. And he's a good sack master. I mean, he can really make you feel the pressure in moments, and I feel like that's what he does good at, getting to the quarterback. And Bubby is known for getting away from the quarterback and being able to get away and avoid that pressure and make deep shots downfield. And I feel like if Grizzly starts doing that, I think Bubby's going to have a field day, because then the wide open middle's wide open if he has Grizzly rushing him like that. And if he's able to get away, who knows? There's someone wide open in the middle, maybe Fire Destroyer where he's coming back to this game. This is the first game since like week 3. Maybe there's going to be someone like that wide open through the middle when Grizzly's rushing him.
Now let's talk about the Chargers. I guess let's focus on them for a little bit. Yeah, like you said, we're 3-0 and they've lost 4 straight. I mean, I don't know if you can really blame this all like on Bubby and stuff. I mean, Bubby and Jason have been the only ones that show up every week. I mean, their coach only showed up once this season, and
He's going to get worst coach of the year.
their team kind of gave up on him. Like we stopped seeing Gamer. John the Best was there for a bit until he got cut because he wasn't showing. It's just
now they have Scully.
Tough. Yeah, they have Scully who. I mean, his first game was mid.
He shows up. It's just, I mean, he's not a good player, or maybe not a decent.
He was learning. He was learning for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that was his first game ever, and I mean, he hasn't done anything to ever practice. So I mean, I don't blame him. It's just, I mean, they're going to need people who are dedicated and can actually affect the team and how it goes. Because if they're in a situation where they have Yeet going on a switch again, they're going to lose. Like how they lost in overtime. I mean, Goy wasn't as good. Bubby needs someone he needs to throw through. And if, Jay Season can get open, I mean, he's going to have someone to throw to. If not, then I don't see him having someone to throw to. But now they have Fire Destroyer, who's coming back after the long suspension for breaking one of the MFL rules. I mean, he was good on the Cowboys for a little bit, but then there was some locker room issues, and then he was cut from the team. And he hasn't played since. So this is his return game, and it's in probably the biggest moment he's going to be in. And right now, the games he's been in. So it's really win or lose at this point.
All right, before we end, let's get our final game. Or what do you think? Who do you think's gonna win? Chargers or Patriots?
I think it's going to be the Chargers winning this game.
Ooh, an upset.
I think Grizzlies going to make a few mistakes on defense or on offense. Fire Destroyer, we haven't seen him a whole lot on defense. I feel like, I mean, he's had some time to tone his skills and hone his skills. That's why I feel like there's a really good shot. I mean, there could be a big upset here because it's not the same team that was here last week. They have Fire Destroyer now who has been suspended for a long time, but now he's back, and I mean, he can be good on defense. He can change something. There's different people playing this time. And if Scully ends up showing, and I mean, he's had at least a week to get his things done together. Bubby, probably in the biggest moment of his career. I feel like this is a defining win for the Chargers if they ever want to have something happen to this organization. And if they lose, this is going to be the biggest loss they've ever had in the organization. So I feel like it's going to be Chargers, and I think they're at least going to go over 50 points, both teams. I mean, probably 56-62.
I think it'll definitely be a close game, but I think the Patriots defense is going to step up big tonight. I think Phoenix is going to have an interception, and I think Grizz is going to get some sacks tonight. I think the Patriots are going to finish the season 8-0 and potentially end the Chargers season tonight, unless they get some help tomorrow from the Cowboys and Bucs.
Yeah, this is really big, and I mean, I'm the coach, but I'm just saying.
Goob has to restart the world for some players who decided to show up to the party a little late. But anyway, that will probably do it for this pregame show. The game will be starting in about 30 minutes or so. Tune in tomorrow for tomorrow's pregame show. We got the Falcons at the Cowboys and the Broncos are a primetime game at Broncos at the Buccaneers to end the season. Yeah. Goodbye, guys. We're such a good duo, Lucas.